I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start. But as we saw, I didn't want to put him down early. You all know I was handcuffed. I don't want to say anything that I will be regretting in the future. But all I can say now is the first 20 seconds was enough for me to end Jake Paul.
Win, and guess what? Jake Paul is right again, and this decision will prove to be positive for him.
Yeah.
That said, he's got a broken jaw.
Done so much for me, and I just am happy and grateful, and just all the life memories that are created through these fight weeks and everything that we've done is just...
You've got to make this kid have a reality check. And that's what he actually did, because Jake Paul himself said, I was shocked.
This is how it ends, and it's brutal. Logan Paul has just confirmed that Jake Paul is stepping away from boxing after having his jaw shattered by Anthony Joshua. Before you even process that sentence, rewind with me, because this isn't retirement. This is fallout. This is damage control. This is a man realizing too late that hype doesn't protect bone. One fight didn't just stall his momentum, it exposed his ceiling. And the scariest part? How calm everyone suddenly sounds. When people stop yelling, it means they've already accepted the outcome. Ask yourself why this feels planned.
I hope that life pans out for you, because if you're unable to see this fight for what it is, you have a level of dark hatred, black energy in your heart.
Logan didn't dodge the truth, and that's what hit first. He openly said Jake is stepping back after that loss, and that broken jaw. A year ago, the narrative was domination. Now it's recovery and reflection. Listen carefully. Words like reflect and step away only surface when something goes wrong behind the scenes. Physical, psychological, or both. And it feels like there's medical information we haven't heard yet, something being softened before it leaks.
Yeah, I'm going to take some time off to go support Utah at the Olympics.
So sick.
Then she's going to move to Puerto Rico, move her here.
Jake's gratitude speech should have sounded noble. It didn't. It sounded like a farewell wrapped in positivity. When fighters start listing memories instead of future plans, that's a red flag. Everyone praising his resilience feels off, because resilience is what you talk about when winning is no longer part of the discussion. And here's the real chill. People aren't asking when he comes back. They are asking if he ever should. That tells you how deep this really goes.
You know, I wasn't being facetious before, but like, you never know the landscape of this, but more likely he's thought this is a good time to bow out, or got a few niggles. And
Eddie Hearn stepping in made things darker. He didn't frame this as emotional or temporary. He framed it as physical reality. Broken jaw. Accumulated damage. A body pushing back. And that phrase should scare you. When a fighter's own body becomes the loudest voice, the career clock is already screaming. Calling this calculated isn't praise, it's acceptance. It's the industry saying, we've seen this before, and it doesn't reverse. I'm convinced there's a doctor's report no one wants public.
Jake Paul knew exactly what his tactics would be going into that fight. He was in there just to survive. He wasn't in there to win. He didn't even try to win. He couldn't win. So when you know your mindset, you know in your mind's eye, I can't win that fight. What do? I've got to survive. How do I survive? I've got to run like a thief.
Then Duke McKenzie ripped the mask off completely, and it got uncomfortable fast. He said Jake entered that fight just to survive, not to win. Once that idea lands, you can't unsee it. Survival mindset is death at the elite level. Analysts saying every movement was about avoiding damage reframes the entire bout as a controlled collapse. And here's the real question. If Jake knew he couldn't win, why did this fight still happen? Who approved a survival mission against a nuclear heavyweight?
A big personality, and he sells fights so well, and he's a big character, and the press conferences, the build up to fights, and what he delivers in the ring. The guy is a serious talent, and he'll be missed when he's retired.
Spencer Oliver's praise feels cruel in hindsight. Applauding survival after watching a man crumble under real pressure is pure irony. This is where the illusion finally snapped. Social media fame vanished the moment real power touched him. Retirement here isn't a loss. It's relief. Relief that this experiment didn't end worse. And if that sentence makes you uncomfortable, it should. because everyone knows how close this came to catastrophe.
He's retired, he's not going to do it again. We've seen it before, and I'm quite sure the common word's going to be the boy that cried wolf. I think in reality...
Johnny Nelson didn't sugarcoat it, and he shouldn't have, calling this humiliating, but inevitable cuts straight through the noise. Online toughness doesn't translate when a real heavyweight unloads on you. The boy who cried wolf analogy hurts, because it fits too well. And here's the paranoia spike. When multiple veterans use the same language, you start wondering what they're privately agreeing on, but refusing to say out loud.
I think, like, other than boxing, there's a lot of egos involved, if that makes sense. Like, he said this, he said that, and I want this, I want that.
The Fury reaction poured gasoline on everything. Humiliation became the dominant word, and once that sticks, it never washes off. Hospital footage and one-sided beatdowns don't fade from memory. When Fury says, "Boxer in name only," it's not trash talk, it's a verdict. And boxing doesn't forget who gets exposed. The silence from Jake's camp right now is louder than any response they could make.
I think Jake fought a very, how do I survive long enough to land a right hand type of fight, and it made it a little difficult for AJ to get his timing. No excuses. AJ didn't look great, I'll be honest. He didn't look great. He didn't look like, an AJ we thought we were going to get, the marauder, the guy that was going to come forward and bang out Jake in one round. Pause.
Carl Frocker's breakdown was surgical and merciless. He described a fighter overwhelmed, disoriented, absorbing punishment with no answers. Millions watched it live. Jake didn't fight intelligently, he endured. Endurance without threat is just prolonged humiliation. Frock saying this wasn't a battle, but a demonstration is devastating. Demonstrations exist to teach lessons. And Jake became the lesson.
Back. He should have either grabbed on, took a knee, or at least threw a bit more back. He was sitting back with his guard up, taking punches. It looked messy, it looked like he was under attack, and he was hurt.
Dana White twisted the knife further. He framed this as ambition colliding with unforgiving reality. Survival becomes the theme again, because taking a bomb from Anthony Joshua isn't character building. It's career ending. Dana calling this a warning should freeze every crossover fighter in place. This wasn't entertainment. This was a line crossed. And once crossed, there's no rewind, only consequences.
Bridge with my brother, unfixable.
I don't hate your brother. You guys need to fight guys your the same size. When you fought Floyd, you are massive. He did hit you with a fucking bomb, and you...
Dave Allen's honesty hit hardest with real boxing fans. He said cleverness couldn't hide the lack of power and defense. And that's the truth. No spin survives footage. Ring IQ, without physical answers, collapses under elite pressure. Retirement becomes logical. Not because of fear, but because of math. Damage plus mismatch equals disaster. And disaster was already knocking.
Well, the fight was, it weren't a fight, was it? Well, really one-sided. Jake Paul, yeah, I've got to give him credit really, because he's super fit. He's pretty clever really. Like, he'd make a good Jake.
Even attempts to praise Jake's fitness backfired. Being extremely fit while getting dismantled only highlights how wide the gap really is. Eddie Hearn saying the final punch would have slept most pros reframes everything. Jake didn't just lose, he absorbed something meant for champions. Absorbing it doesn't make you equal. It makes you vulnerable. And vulnerability at this level is lethal.
Yes, it took AJ a couple of rounds to get hold of him, and then he knocked him spark out and broke his jaw. It was a frustrating 2-3 rounds maybe, because Jake was moving so much.
I'm glad Anthony Joshua did that to him, because now he won't be able to talk like he does for a while. We won't listen to his...
Mackenzie's final words felt like a sentence, not commentary. Saying Jake asked for this by stepping up hits differently once you see the injury reports. Calling it miraculous that he wasn't fully incapacitated tells you how close this came to tragedy. That's not drama, that's reality. And when reality steps in, retirement stops being a choice and starts being a requirement.
Kid has a broken jaw, it appears, after fighting Anthony Joshua, right? I made this graphic for you guys. You see it. Got his jaw broken in 2 places.
care of me forever and ever, a little fucked up. But when you take care of me forever and ever, a little fucked up.
The broken jaw graphic sealed it. Injuries like that don't just heal, they linger. They change reflexes, confidence, timing, careers. Boxing doesn't forgive hesitation. Anyone pretending this is temporary is lying to themselves. A jaw broken in 2 places isn't a storyline, it's a full stop. And here's the final unease. No one is asking what fight comes next. They are asking how bad it could have been.
Just a fucking piss take that this guy's in there with Anthony Joshua, swinging away, landing. What's he done? He's had 18 minutes and landed 2 shots, and he's gone on survival mode. And there'll be a lot of viewers. I think he won 4 of them.
People argue that he at least won 3. No one expected him to last that long. Rolled his ankle, broke his jaw, still fucking fighting, man. Like, that's toughness. You know, most people wouldn't have the balls ever to step in a boxing ring in their life. He stepped in a boxing ring with one of the baddest men on the planet. Who's 40 pounds heavier than him, is 6 inches.
So don't frame this as bravery alone, or hate alone, because what we witnessed was exposure wrapped in spectacle. Jake Paul's boxing chapter didn't end quietly, it fractured under pressure. Whether you respect his courage or resent the hype, the result is the same. Elite boxing made its point. The silence now feels deliberate. It carries the weight of something unspoken, because it's hard to believe we've heard the full medical truth yet. And when that truth finally surfaces, this conversation will turn even darker. The retirement debate itself feels misleading. Whether Jake ever returns almost doesn't matter, because the illusion of upward momentum is gone. Boxing is unforgiving that way. Once you're defined as someone who survived instead of someone who threatened, everything changes. Matchmaking, perception, even the audience. And I don't think Jake wants to exist in that version of the sport, where the ceiling has already been publicly enforced. There's a larger cultural reckoning here that people are carefully avoiding. Boxing has always struggled to balance spectacle and legitimacy, and this fight leaned too far into spectacle, then paid for it in blood.